If I had to describe my 2019 in one word, it would be growth. This year has taught me even more about myself and my ability to push boundaries that I never believed that I could cross. This has been the year where I've said yes to pretty much everything that has been thrown my way. From spontaneous trips to last-minute nights out, I've stopped being scared to throw myself into situations that I was previously scared or anxious to do. 2019 has been the year of getting back on track with my life, sorting out my mental health and putting my career goals and aspirations at the top of my priority list. I've not only exceeded all of my expectations for 2019, I've met some friends for life, explored so many new countries, and worked with some incredible brands that I could only have dreamed of working with since I started building this little online community in 2014. I'm proud to say that most of the experience I've had in 2019 have come from years of hard work, motivation and staying organised. However, I cannot forget to thank you watching this video for supporting me through the years, or even just simply watching one of my videos or tapping on an Instagram photo. You're changing my life and I'm so grateful every single day for the heartwarming comments and messages that I receive every day. Last year, I put way too much pressure to have this perfect year that everyone dreams about, but I finally realised that perfection doesn't exist in anything. There will always be unhappiness, grief and sorrow, mixed amongst all the other incredible things you get to do, work for and achieve every single year. Grasp every opportunity and don't let the negatives weigh you down, even if they feel the heaviest at some points. 2019 has let me pick the positives out of every situation and alter my mindset to live a happier and more fulfilled life. But before you keep watching this video, just remember that most of these memories I'm about to share are a highlight reel of my year. I'm an oversharer on my vlog channel, so you probably know a little bit more about me there. But please don't forget there were times in this year where I'd be crying, upset, angry, annoyed, feeling all the negative emotions. I'm certainly not perfect, and I never want you to think that my year was 100% positive. So without further ado, this is how my 2019 went. January was all about new beginnings and working on myself, as my mental health had been at an all-time low. I saw the new year in with my favourite people at our local pub, celebrating and drinking the night away. Motivation drives me through January, as I love the feeling of the new year being a clean slate. I started my medication properly for my depression and anxiety, revised and got good grades on my university exams, and had exciting phone calls with my soon-to-be management. Alongside getting back into work, and shout out to student loan, I rewarded my hard work for exams with a fun trip to Nottingham with my girls, finally got down to the Warner Brothers studios to live my Harry Potter fantasy with my best friend, which has been on my bucket list for years, and spent some lovely quality time with my boyfriend in London. I honestly love January because it's always a month to push me to better myself and spend time with my favourite people. Oh, and I also got my first tattoo, which is crazy. Me and my best friend had this plan for ages and we finally took the plunge to get matching tattoos.
Really tense.
Ready?
Yeah. It's fine.
Oh my god!
What?
It's so exciting! Here it is, here's the finished product. The new changes and positive vibes continued its way through February. I was chosen to be a forensic science student ambassador to help out on open days at uni, which was a lovely compliment. I also plucked up the courage to completely change my hairstyle. I trusted the incredible Rosie from Roslaw's Hair on Instagram to transform my long brown locks into something more mature and manageable. I absolutely love it so much and I felt like a whole new woman.
Wow. Oh my god. Now I'm just going to take...
My other huge change and announcement in February was joining my agency, Shark Talent Management. I now have an incredible manager that helps me with all of my social media jobs and admin, which I'm so lucky enough to call a friend too. Jamie has honestly helped shape my platforms this year and pushed my social media presence into a part-time job, which I'm eternally grateful for. March was a much needed quiet month after the chaos of new university modules, exams and changes. I spent a lot of downtime with my friends, family and seeing people I hadn't spent time with in ages. It's so easy to get caught up with what you're doing and improving your own life that you forget to check in on your loved ones. It's so lovely meeting up with friends that you've known for years, and no matter how long it's been, nothing will ever change.
Ta-da.
Are you gonna say hello? No.
Ready? 3, 4.
April was such a huge month for me and my family as we picked up our newest addition, little Barney Bear. He's become the heart and core of our family, the most lovable, friendly puppy, and has allowed me to feel a new type of love that I've never ever experienced before.
Can't believe you're stopping.
I'm going to put it in a bread
I've
roll.
got that cute for you.
He's catching up.
I also attended my 2 biggest brands events this month that I was invited to. I got to visit the world's biggest Primark in Birmingham with Amy, which was so fun, getting a treatment done inside the new Duck and Dry salon and having an explore around the new store.
So I'm on Newsbeat at 12:45 here.
Hi Newsbeat, my name is Charlotte, I'm 20 years old and I am a fashion blogger and vlogger and also a student at the University of Lincoln.
You feel like you're having this whole new experience. You've got somewhere to go and eat or have a drink, and then you've also got the beauty salon if you want to have a little bit of a pamper.
The following day I then hopped on a train to London with Carrie for an insane event with Canon. It honestly shocked me so much that one of the greatest technology brands had invited me down to the prettiest event in the gorgeous Elan Cafe in Kensington. I was even given a Canon Zoe Mini to top off an amazing evening. April meant it was also the Easter break, so I was able to head back from uni for a couple weeks to revise and chill out with my family.
Happy birthday to ya! I'm starting to lose control!
In May, I reached an incredible 6,000 subscribers on my channel, which is such a crazy big number. Maybe not in the grand scheme of YouTube or your favourite YouTuber's channel, but to me, this number was huge. Amongst the dreaded exam period, I also said yes to lots of last minute things that came my way. I went to my first ever Bongos Bingo, which was an experience and a half. I'd highly recommend it if you're looking for an alternative to a clubbing night out. I also had some more amazing trips to Nottingham for a girly day with Megan and Hattie, collaborated for the first time with Alice, who is now one of my really good friends. I also celebrated Megan's 20th birthday in the fancy Electric Bar in Lincoln. And to top finishing second year off with a bang, I also got an invitation to Lincoln Fashion Week and was a VIP with my best friend Carrie. Summer was filled with so many adventures, visiting new countries, cities in the UK, and attending so many lovely events. My summer highlights definitely had to include heading up to Manchester to see Lucia. This was my first time visiting this really raved about city, and I definitely didn't spend enough time there. I also went for a well-needed spa day with the girls as our end of exam treat. Megan and Hattie and I went to Whittlebury Hall, which was such a gorgeous spa venue, and I'll definitely be returning if I get the chance to in 2020.
How do you feel? Scared?
I spent a few days in Birmingham in summer too, roaming the shops and playing ghetto golf with my cousin. I was kindly asked to also take over the Lost City Adventure Golf Instagram in Nottingham with Amy, which was also a really fun night. The London Grad Fashion Show was also a lovely highlight, and even better, I got to spend the day again in London with Amy. Back to the university talk. I was lucky enough to be invited to my boyfriend's brother's graduation. Louis did an insane job graduating with a first at the University of Portsmouth. After finding out that I got a 2-1 in my second year at university, I've been more determined than ever to push myself and get a first in my third and final year. But before returning in September, I decided to enjoy my greatest summer of travelling yet. Starting with Romania, Anomalous Chloe on YouTube asked if I wanted to join her in a mini 4-day trip to an unspoken European country. We flew to Bucharest, saw some wonderful sights, visited both fun and informative museums, and even got to see the Dracula's castle. I then spent the rest of July in Guatemala, where I was fortunate enough to be picked to go on an overseas field course from one of my third year modules. This was definitely the experience of a lifetime. I travelled across the entire country speaking to victims of the Guatemalan Civil War, hearing of the hardships they endured as their family members were taken, captured and killed by the military and the government for 36 years. I had the privilege of first-hand experience examining bones and learning about current anthropology cases in the Guatemalan labs. A huge bonus of this trip was visiting Tikal, a beautifully maintained jungle with Mayan ruins. We climbed temples, saw monkeys swinging through the wildlife, and soaked in the heat as we trekked through the north region of the country. We kayaked, swam, stayed in beautiful hotels, met inspirational victims, learnt so many new things about the forensic industry, and got to experience a complete different culture that I'll forever be grateful for. The busyness continued in August, and I hopped on a train to London with my best friend Megan. We attended Summer in the City, which is an annual thing at the London XL. I spent time with lovely people, got engrossed in the online industry all over again, and we also finalised our voucher mystery holiday to Berlin, which we will actually be going on mid-January 2020, so look out for the vlogs. Turkey was my next highlight of summer. I got to relax in the Turkish sun with my boyfriend and his family, who have now become my own. We ate some delicious food, had a hilarious Turkish spa day where men scrubbed my naked body, which was definitely an experience. We went on an adventure through the mountains, stood under waterfalls, jumped into freezing cold springs, and had a natural mud bath. Turkey is one of my favourite holiday destinations for sure, and now it has an even more special place in my heart. The adventures continued as Aidan and I spent a night away in London with my family when we returned. My parents saved up to treat my brother and I for our joint birthdays. We did all the fun touristy attractions in London. The Dungeons is always a great shout, and I always recommend it to anyone who's going to London for a day. I even got to squeeze in the time to take my mum to her first blogger event at the Urban Decay headquarters. The rest of August was spent celebrating Hattie's birthday. Her mum bought us tickets to climb the O2 and we had cocktails in a really pretty bar. It was so fun. I got to see my family for the last segment of August too. I even got to take them to a PR event in Leicester for an evening of pizza and mini golf. Now for September, which is always my favourite month. Usually because it's my birthday. However, this one was particularly special. I had the best celebrations in my family home with my loved ones. All my favourite people were in one place, which made me so happy, which I think is the reason that I do love New Year's Eve and my birthday so much. As it was my 21st, the last birthday for a good while, I had to go all out with the decor. I hired a wonderful lady to decorate my house with balloons and a donut wall. Everything looked so unreal and I was so happy with the outcome.
We've been doing my first grind. Oh, there's icing on your forehead. And there's icing on the forehead. Hang on.
After a busy, packed summer, my boyfriend and I jetted off to spend some good quality time together in Bali, a place I've wanted to visit for some time now. Absolutely amazing that I could spend my biggest birthday on such a beautiful island. On my actual birthday, I ate a delicious, nutritious breakfast at a place called The Alchemy, visited the Monkey Sanctuary, had a luxurious couples spa treatment at Ubud's Best Spa, and during our time in Bali, we got to experience a bit of everything. From Ubud's amazing tourist attractions to Seminanc's nightlife, then to round our trip, we took a boat to the Gili Islands, where we spent a blissful week in Gili Air. The island was almost untouched, with its small population, little tourists, authentic warangs, and the only mode of transport being a bicycle or horse and cart. I'll definitely be returning to Bali again for sure, as there were so many areas we didn't even get to explore. Going straight back to uni after Bali took a huge toll on my mental health. I got super stressed and anxious about my future and couldn't shift the feeling of worry from my mind for a good few weeks. I still feel a little unsettled about the thought of not knowing exactly what I have planned after uni, but I'm trying to learn to live in the moment and figure it out close to the time. A nightmare for an over-planner like myself. I think during this little breakdown phase, I got my second tattoo to represent my mental health struggles and a cute little reminder for whenever I'm feeling like things are too much. Just breathe. When you take a step back, breathe, gather your thoughts and think about the situation from an outsider's perspective, you can rationalise pretty much anything and stop yourself from getting overwhelmed by small things. October was a huge month for my social media progression. The generous team at Cadbury invited myself and my boyfriend to the Cotswolds. We were all put up in a beautiful lodge in the middle of a forest with our very own hot tub and 4 rooms, all to ourselves. We got to party the night away with the fellow girls from my management, met some new friendly people, and spent time with the kind women who invited us. Cadbury has been my favourite brand forever, so this was a huge moment for me, and I still genuinely feel like it was one whole crazy dream. So the rest of the year has been a really quick blur. I can't quite believe that I finished my last ever semester A. Amongst the madness of third year stress, getting started on my dissertation, which I'm thankfully loving so far, and trying to make the most out of my last Christmas at uni, I managed to fit in some lovely things to top off the year. I finally got to meet the hilarious down-to-earth Leah Turner, who I have adored for ages. I also got to meet Ellie and Harriet, who are some other amazing friends I've met through this online world. I was also gifted an amazing experience at Champneys Tring in Hertfordshire, thank you to Buy a Gift, a company I've been using to buy gifts for my family for years. I also got to support Teenage Cancer Trust in London with Carrie for an evening of Halloween fun. I don't even know how I had the time to also do this, but I managed to create a podcast alongside my amazing besties and 2 lovely girls who I met during an interview for their third year project. We all clicked so quickly and decided to put together a light-hearted, chatty and hopefully stress-relieving podcast to help any other student who also might be struggling right now. It's been such a fun thing to work on alongside uni work, and I cannot wait to continue the S Word podcast into the new year. Christmas has been an extremely difficult time for myself and my family due to several reasons. It's probably been even worse for me this year than the last, when I was at my lowest point. My finances haven't been great, there's been a lot of strain and pressure, and I haven't really felt like celebrating. However, I'm not going to let this negative feeling be a reflection of my whole entire 2019. I know I'm so lucky and super grateful for all these amazing things that have come my way, and just watching all these memories back has made me realise what an incredible year it really has been. Here's to a wonderful 2020 full of success, the unknown, overcoming new obstacles, and a new chapter. Thank you so much for following me on my journey. I wish you a happy, healthy, and fulfilling year.